5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
On the edge of the box is Madden. Madden trying to manufacture the shot, gets it away, it's there! Oh my word! What a goal from Paddy Madden! The Irishman strikes again! And is that the goal that's going to send Stockport County back into the Football League?
If you open the dictionary at the word pivotal, it'll be a picture of Saturday's win. Or it would if it was a picture dictionary, if they exist. Oh, Pictionary's already a thing, innit? Oh, I think that's going to start, innit? Hello and welcome to the Scarf Bagara War, chronicling the new Edgeley Park era on a weekly basis to you. I'm looking at you. The discerning and may I say very handsome county fan. Yes, you. That'll come across well on the audio, won't it, Russ? Brilliant, great start. Joining me as ever is a man who needs no introduction, and it's a good job as well, because I haven't bloody written one, have I? It's Russ Johnson.
How do you? Yeah, not bad, you?
Yeah, I'm not bad. Didn't see you on Saturday. I know you were there, I just didn't get to see you, which is always a bit of a... It felt like a defeat Saturday, because I didn't get to see you.
Yeah, felt like a win for me. Whee! No. Yeah, I was running late, you see. That's why I wasn't there at the courtyard. Missed a bit of the courtyard, but yeah.
Same, very late. Well, before we get into it, for those readers who are reading on YouTube, you can check out get the banner ready actually, because I'll get the banner ready. Oh, this is already all over the place. There we go, the banner's on. Jobs are good done. So, for those readers who are reading on YouTube, you can check out the banner across the bottom of the screen, which basically says what I'm about to say, but without that awful droning noise. But for those who are reading on Spotify or another podcast player, hi, I'm talking to you again. You, look at me. Obviously, we've been doing this for ages and it's always been free of charge. But if you do enjoy what we put out and want to help support us, you can bang some sweet cash into our PayPal, which is contact@scarfbagara.co.uk. Am I right there? Am I right?
You are absolutely, you're correct. Yes, that's correct.
Good start. Or alternatively, if you're watching on YouTube, there's options on there to donate. Give us a super like, which chucks money towards us. Doesn't chuck money towards us like you would with strippers. Whatever they like to be called nowadays, I don't know. Yeah. You can do that. I'll strip for you.
Although it does feel like a virtual putting a £10 down my pants. If I was next to a pole, it does feel like that when I say it, go ching.
That's why we can't. That's why we can't record together anymore, innit? Because I just I'm just like. But the money will go towards all those things that you have to pay for when you do something like this. For example, the streaming software and web hosting ain't free, baby. And someone's got to keep me in condoms because you never know when you're going to run out of balloons for promotion celebrations, do you? Hey. In all seriousness, so we don't charge for this. I don't think we could because... look at the state of this. But if you do like what we do every week, any contributions will be massively appreciated and it will help us bring you more of the same and much more. Will it not, Russell?
It will indeed, yes. Much more. We are thinking about things, aren't we? All the time.
We have ideas.
We have
ideas, but no one will listen.
No. Shall we move on? Should we get our guest out first, or do you want to do admin first, very quickly?
What do you want to do, Russ?
I want to get our guest out.
Show, mate.
No, I want to get our guest out because he's a long-time serving county fan. I've known of him since I was about 11, when I used to get dragged for 3 hours to the Bobby Peel before matches, and he used to be in there. Walking around looking at the pool table and stuff as a little boy. He probably doesn't know this, but I remember him doing that. So yeah. So we get him out. It's Desinks Jr.
Good evening.
Good evening, Des, or Paddy, or whatever we're calling you.
I'm so honoured you've just put me above admin in your priorities in life. I feel like you couldn't have made me feel more special with that intro.
If it was up to us, I'd be below the admin.
We've got a bit of a content clash tonight because Macaulay Southam Hales is doing some sort of child Twitch thing with FIFA, which I I don't quite understand. But then also, Tanto's YouTube's just been released of him answering questions.
Who am I? Yeah.
Who am I? Yes. Is it not Ask Me Anything?
Bit of both, innit? It's the same thing, really, isn't it?
No, is it? No.
Yeah, pretty much. We ask him anything to work out who he is. Oh, I can put some meat on the bones of the Twitch thing, by the way. Do you remember when you used to go to your mate's house when you were a kid to play FIFA and he'd only have one controller and you just sit there watching him and be really bored? It's that. It's that on the internet.
It's the world we live in now.
Yeah, mental.
There's the I think everybody knows you. I don't think you need an introduction, do you? But we are getting comments in already, and I think you know Cy Lomas, don't you? As we all do.
So yeah, one of our writers on the website did a fine piece the other day after the Northampton game.
Yes, good stuff. So I'm sure we'll get loads of comments from Cy as we go along. But yeah, tell it just very quickly before we get into the football and stuff. Tell us a bit about you. How long? Oh, well, I know, but tell everybody how long you've been supporting County and what it's done to you.
What it's done? What it's done? A therapy session.
You've all got an hour of us.
Yeah, first game. So my dad. I'm a County geek, as you know. So my first game was March 1987. I was 2, so I don't remember too much about it. I think we were 2-0 up, and my dad took me, and then he had to get me home to my mum because it was a night game, and County had conceded 2 by the time he'd got back home. So that sort of set the stall out for me County supporting career. But yeah, home and away, as with most of my mates, sort of most of my life. Yeah, quite a few bad times over the years as we've all experienced, but it's nice to enjoy the Nuneatons and the Halifaxes after what we've all been through over the last sort of 11 years or so.
Absolutely, yeah. Good stuff. Right, should we do the admin now before we get into the matches and things that surround that? Do you want to take it away, Nick?
Yes, so we had a message from the co-op asking us to mention this. So the co-op are pleased to share that we'll be starting a social pool league for County fans to take part in. Are you any good at pool, Russ?
I'm not bad. Yeah, I'm not bad at pool. Pool and chess. Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, two Olympic sports there. Nice one. Good. Can't wait to see you at the next Olympics. So the league is open to all County fans and will take place on the first Monday of every month, starting from February 6th at Hazel Grove Snooker Club. And I might nip down for that. I might go and play left-handed because it can't be any fucking worse than my right. I nearly set up that I was really good at pool then, but I'm not. But if you check out the co-op social media, that's there between 7:30 and 9:30 every session.
Des, you must be a bit of a dab hand at pool. The amount of times you spent in the Bobby Peel as a kid, surely.
Yeah, I'm awful at snooker, but I'm all right at pool. Weirdly enough, I can find my way around a pool table. So.
Yeah, good stuff. I used to play on a team. That's how good I was. There you go. Yeah.
Maybe you should get yourself down there.
Got a busy life, mate. Got a family and people who care for me, so I probably won't go.
It's all right when I send.
Any more admin? I know, just as a very quick one, I know Stockport Gin announced today that they are doing a new batch of County Gin. If anyone's missed out on the first batch.
Well, also on the Stockport Gin front, they had their Facebook page hacked and have not been able to regain it. So if you search their new one and give it a like, so they can build their following, because they're quite a massive following on there, so that they can build that up. Save impromptu admin, just it's like 2009 all over again, isn't it? Oh god. That's some of my best work, that is. Oh, it came out of nowhere. Yes, in the third and final piece of admin, Jonathan the Geordie Hatter is back this Saturday morning with his away day show. Looking forward to the game with Crewe. He's got some good tunes lined up. I was chatting to him last night about it. And Andy pointed out a song to me that I'd never heard before, which is always good. And he's done a great piece on Des's blog as well. His little visit to Chile Nomads over the Christmas period. He started sneaking a half man, half biscuit reference into every single one. So I just find fixed about the rest of it. It's really, really fantastic stuff. Yes. So he's back at 9:30. Saturday morning on the mix for that. Done.
Nice. And it's sorry, it was just to reiterate, it's 9:30, isn't it, on Saturday?
It's 9:30, between the hours of 9:30 and 11 a.m.
Excellent stuff. Okay, should we get into the footy then, into the Togger, into the match on Saturday, Northampton? Sounds like Northampton, doesn't it? It's Northampton. Quite nervous going into that. I know you were, Nick, and so was our guest last week. Des, were you nervous going into it?
Not necessarily nervous, because I think I'm of the mindset that we don't have to go up this season. I think it'd be nice if we do, but I think after the start we had and everything, I think this season's just to be enjoyed now. Don't get me wrong, I get nervous in games. I want us to sort of go up again, but I wasn't mega nervous. I thought we had to win to stand any chance of third. I said that to everyone before. I thought even if we'd have drawn the game, there's so many teams that could potentially get third. I thought we've got to sort of take the points off them. But having done so, they played well at times. But I think third is absolutely a possibility now. Having watched that on Saturday.
Yeah, that was a massive one Saturday, I think. Well, I said last week, lose that and we're 15 points behind third, despite having 2 games in hand. But yeah, and getting onto the game, Northampton weren't bad either.
No.
Northampton on another day they could have won that. Ben Hinchliffe. I mean, I know Akil Wright got man of the match and completely fairly as well, but Ben Hinchliffe for me made two or three top class, probably 2 or 3 of the best saves he's ever made for us.
Yeah. I can't pick a winner between the one in the first half, the volley that he tipped over, or the one in the second half where it was a bit of a over the top and left foot volley. They were both just as good as each other, weren't they? The saves, absolute quality. Yeah, what did you make of? I mean, there's loads to go through with the Northampton game, which is unusual, really, because normally we're talking about we go through loads on the games that we lose, but it just so happens that we beat Northampton. They had some really good spells. You could tell they were pretty class. I was a bit worried for the first 15, 20 minutes in the second half because they overrun us pretty much, didn't they? I mean, we weathered the storm, but and came through on the other end. Yeah, what else stuck out for you in the game?
I think for me it was. I said this to a few of the lads. It felt like a sort of a Jim Gannon sort of win from back in the day. I mean, we played some amazing football back then, but sometimes you might win 1-0, 2-0, and as Gannon always said, it's about getting what you can from the game. And like you just said, Northampton played pretty well at times, and you can see why they were third. But it was just a really professional performance. We, goal in each half. We sort of weathered the storm when we had to. Rode our luck a little bit, but we found a way to get the 3 points. And I think it was just a big sort of statement win for me that they've got I think we've got the quality in the team, which we've seen early in the season. Even when we were losing, we were sometimes scoring decent goals and stuff. But the sort of that little bit of nous to get the points wasn't necessarily there. But on Saturday, we scored a couple of goals, but we've seen the game out well. And for me, that's another reason why I really think we can get third now. I think the players we've got the quality, but we're starting to see a little bit of professionalism as well in sort of winning games like that.
Yeah. What about? For me, special mention for Sarcevic. I thought he was class on Saturday. I think he's always been class. He's all right. He's had dips in form, which have coincided with other dips in form, maybe with the team as a whole or whatever. But when he was on the ball on Saturday, he just looks class. That's all I've got to say about it, really.
Well, he was my man of the match on Saturday. Sarcevic. I thought, because he's got a bit of stick. I don't know why. I just found myself watching him a little bit more closely than I normally would on Saturday. But I just, like you said, when he was on the ball, he played really, really well on Saturday. And it's like I said, there were a few players that could have been nominated for it. But for me, I did give him man of the match to Sarcevic on Saturday.
What about you, Nick?
Complete. It's one of them. You'd think. It's not like we completely dominated the game, as you've alluded to, Russ. But to have so many choices for potential man of the match. I've not seen like one or two people agreeing. Really, it's everyone's got a different shout. But you
Everyone's got
can't
their
take
own,
it
yeah.
away from Aki. I mean, Aki Wright was completely worthy as well. But you could have picked for a game where we weren't exactly dominant for 90 minutes to have like 4 or 5 players that you could have picked for man of the match. It's
Yeah.
it's that thing again, isn't it? Just coming into form at the right time once again, as we have the last 2 times we've been promoted. We've just got really into form at this time, got into our groove, and the illness and injury of the last few weeks looks well and truly behind us. Byrne came in and just looked solid, just looked like a Horsfall clone.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Won everything in the air.
Noel.
Decent on the ball. Noel came on, put a wicked crossing.
Yeah.
Yeah, looked very bright when he came on. Like once he gets up to speed, I'd imagine he'll be straight in the 11, won't he?
Yeah. Madden got 60 minutes. I mean, I wasn't surprised that he came off. Was you surprised he came off?
Not particularly, I wasn't. No, because he'd not trained in the week before the Walsall game, and we don't know how much he trained last week. So yeah, so it's just managing the minutes, isn't it? Especially with a few midweek games coming up as well. Makes sense, doesn't it? It's just good squad management again. Same as we saw around this time last year. Just managing the squad so well, getting everyone some minutes, and yeah, it's good again, isn't it? After last week, it's like yay!
Well, it's funny, isn't it? Because it's our first win of 2023, and you wouldn't think it, would you? It's the enthusiasm and the positivity that it brings. I think it's the performance as well. Keeping them back, even though they could tell they were clashing. They're absolutely fair. Fair for them to be in third place. They're up there for a good reason. The football highlights on Saturday night said, are we one to look out for, because it's a bit of a statement win. We've not whimpered. They've not turned us over. They made it sound a bit that we'd beat them a bit easier than we actually had, but they still put it across like that. So there was raised eyebrows with the panel, and I know they play lip service to it to a certain extent, don't they? But it's nice to get that recognition.
That was Northampton's biggest defeat of the season as well in the league,
right? Which
I didn't realise. So,
yeah. What about mentioning the referee? So, I thought you'd frozen then, Des. I thought you were via satellite or something.
Not in that jumper.
I'm just watching Macca play FIFA at the same time. I'm having a few issues.
What about a mention for the ref?
Yeah, she's fantastic.
Yeah,
Always has been. Every game I've seen her, whether it's included us or not. I mean, she'll be Premier League in 2 or 3 years, I reckon. It's absolutely spot. I can't even think of anything approaching a dodgy decision.
But what gets me is that is how to referee a match, innit? That on Saturday is how to referee a match. Why don't all the others do that? I just don't understand. It just doesn't compute. I mean, I know you get performance levels, but that's not in decisions. She'll surely get most. She got nearly every decision right. In fact, I can't think of one where she got it wrong, and I thought, "Ooh, that's a bad decision." I just can't think of one.
Well, according to Dave Philbin, bang average, but still miles better than anyone. I think she was well above bang average, and it seemed one of them where there was very little dissent as well, which reminded me of Uriah Rennie in that respect. He was another one you didn't seem to get players gobbing off at him.
Yeah.
It was that's the best 2 referees I can think of in like nearly 30 years of going to county, which is a worrying indictment on the state of the game, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, we can ignore Dave Philbin anyway. I mean, it's not like he's been a ref or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got a message as well this week from a listener, and there's loads of comments coming in about the ref, so it's definitely worth kudos for that. Absolutely. So yeah,
it'd have been shit if we'd have lost 2-0.
Well, I don't think so. I mean, has she refed us before when we've lost?
I think so. Yeah, in the National League, I'm pretty sure. I can't remember. I've blanked out a lot of that.
It never happened.
Yeah.
I mean, to be
just
fair,
stopped all football for 11 years.
Yeah. To be fair, the week before against Walsall, the ref was poor, and that's an understatement. But I didn't blame him for the goals. The goals were our problem. It's just the decisions. I mean, even the penalty was the right call, wasn't it? So I think we're fair. We're fair on this show when it comes to refs, aren't we?
Yeah. I think so. Yeah. That novel you've been working on.
That novel. No, we've won every game she's refed, says Ian Dowden. Who, incidentally, Ian Dowden came to me before the match and said, "I think we're going to win 2-0 today." And I was like,
he's not mentioned it in the comments at all. Should have put a bloody bet on.
So that takes us up to 10th, and I always look at goal difference to see if a club, any club really, is under or overachieving, and our goal difference is pretty healthy. So that says to me, especially with the games in hand as well, and our form, and who we've got on Saturday, and we'll come to that shortly. I'm hoping we're in for a good run.
Are we not amongst the highest goal scorers as well now? Have I imagined that? I'm sure I read that somewhere.
Not quite. Not quite.
No.
Yeah. Just looking. Yeah, I suppose we are. I mean, there's 4, 5 in front of us, perhaps.
Yeah. So we're talking, and decent defensively as well. There's only 3 teams that have conceded less than us. So it's all going in the right direction. Yeah? That's a playoff record, and once we get these 2 games in hand out the way, hopefully with wins, I think that's it. It's the next 6 weeks or so are going to be huge. And at the end of this next 6 weeks, we're going to know what we're looking at, whether we are looking at top 3 or. I mean, I think I've said it since the start of the season. I think we'll finish playoffs bare minimum.
Yeah. Ryan Moore makes a good point. There was a post on Twitter, and I've seen this somewhere else, not on Twitter. We have the lowest expected goals against, so it just shows that we've been unlucky or individual errors have cost us. Des, do you go for all this XG against?
No, I'm not at all. But I think it's a good point. Because I think I know every team can say ifs and buts, but you look at some of the last minute winners and the mistakes we made at the start of the season. I mean, we're 9 points behind Northampton now, and you could easily make a case for wiping those 9 points out, and we'd be third. Just from little things. We were like 1-0 up at Mansfield and sort of 1-0 up at Stephen, and so many. It was just a weird start to the season. Silly red cards, silly last minute winners. But now we've got rid of all that. We're looking like a sort of promotion team. I think we're hitting sort of 2 points a game, which is promotion form. So I think, the league table doesn't necessarily lie, but I think in terms of us, I think we are a better team than 10th. I think it's only the start of the season that's put us down there. And like I say, over these next 5-6 weeks, get some decent wins. I think we're seriously going to start climbing.
Yeah, I mean, get a win at Crewe on Saturday, and then the Bradford game next Tuesday just becomes massive, because I think we could probably in a position where we can jump above them. Which, as someone who's got a Bradford supporting friend, I'm very much looking forward to that. That'll be fun.
Have you got any Crewe supporting friends?
No. I banished all them, mate.
They're all in prison.
Yeah.
Let's not go down that rabbit hole.
No, let's not. Let's drag ourselves back quickly from that. Anything more about the Northampton game? Does anybody want to say anything? Anyone want to comment on anything that they noticed about the Northampton game?
Is the first goal a contender for goal of the season?
The good move, wasn't it? It was a good move.
Lovely.
Yeah, it was a good move. Yeah.
Hippolyte's Cruyff turn to take out like 4 opposition players.
Yeah. Oh. Madden's header through to Collar.
Yeah. Collar's little seal thing where he kind of like bobbed the ball up on his head as he was running.
Yeah. And then Wotton's pass, Wotton's layoff, if you like, because Sars did shout for him. For it. Yeah. It's up there, isn't it?
It's up there, isn't it? Does it count as a team goal when there's 4 players involved? Or do you need like 6 or more to be involved in a team goal? That's a team goal, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a team goal. Definitely.
It is now.
Yeah, I think more than 3. If it's 4 or more, then I'm going for team goal.
Fair enough. Yeah. All right then.
I've just made
I'll
that
go
rule.
with that.
You heard Russ, people. You heard him.
Any counter arguments to
Just
that?
spoken.
Happy to take that. Yeah. What else was the? Oh, the Hippolyte was unlucky not to get on the score sheet, wasn't he? Do you not think?
Yeah,
He had
Mm,
he had
3
second half,
three
he
from
was-
long range. Yeah.
A few a bit wide, and Rydell as well. First half, I thought it hit the post because I was right behind that. His shot, I thought it hit the post, but the keeper made a camera save, didn't he?
Mm.
He did, yeah. It was a very strange one, that goalkeeper, because he made that save and didn't look comfortable doing it, and his kicking, particularly in the first half hour, was absolutely dreadful.
Yeah. I think we counted about
Honestly,
literally
bad.
6 or 7 that went straight out of play within the first half an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, and considering some people level that at Ben Hinchliffe a lot when it's completely bollocks, I just kind of wanted to be like, look, this is what you could have won. This is what we could have compared to what we've got.
It's every time though with the keeper in it, they can do 100 kicks correctly, and then as soon as they spank one out of play from a pass back or something, it's like, what do you want? What do you want? It's happened forever, hasn't it? Yeah, Wootton should have scored in the first half, but looked to slip.
Yeah, he went a bit off balance, didn't he?
Yeah. So then all the Wootton haters were on top of him, then going, "You should have scored that." Yeah, you can't score them all, can you? Yeah, Hoskins surprisingly quiet as well. I noticed.
Yeah, well marshalled by our defence, I thought. Yeah, kept him out of the game. Yeah. And it was a bit of a makeshift defence as well. Obviously, we went to a 4, had Akil right on the right.
Yeah.
And obviously he doesn't get forward as well as he does as a wide centre back. I think because he tends to find a bit more space there. I don't think like beating the man on the outside is his thing as it is with the likes of Southam Hales and as we'll see with Noyle. But yeah, I thought he was very solid there. And then obviously when we dropped into a 3 late on, yeah, it's nice having these players that we can shift around to accommodate a changing system. Even though the 3 at the back is our thing. And in fact, Challoner mentioned it in his interview with Sky Sports this week off the back of his Manager of the Month award, just about the expansive way that he likes to play and getting the wing backs high up the pitch and stuff. But it's not players like Akil Wright and Hippolyte who we can just move around to help with the changing formation is very nice. I think that's somewhere that we were deep. Obviously, we had Hippolyte towards like for the second half of last season being able to do that, but to be able to have like 1, 2, or 3 players able to do that's going to make a massive difference in the next few months. That is.
Yes. Just on that then, to build on that, Des, do you think we need to bring anybody else in, and if so, where would you bring them in?
I don't know. I think you never know with us. There probably will be another 1 or 2, but I'd be more than happy with what we've got now. I think we did need to bring people in. I think we had a decent 11, but it was the squad wasn't quite there, which is incredible to say with the resources that we've got. But I think we saw first half of this season the squad was not entirely what was needed. But I think like I say, Byrne looks decent, Noah looks decent. If Tanto can hopefully get a goal or 2, and that he becomes dangerous, if coming off the bench, then. But yeah, if you keep injuries out of the way, I'm fairly happy with what we got. Like I say, we beat Northampton, we beat Carlisle at home, so the sort of we're capable of beating like 3rd, 4th. So the top 2's done and dusted, but I think this squad's capable of 3rd, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd like someone to cover for Crowsdale, but I'm happy with the left centre back is where people have suggested we need someone in. But I think between Hussey and Johnson, I don't think Johnson's got the same strength that Akil Wright has. But in terms of just being a good old-fashioned stopper of a centre half, I think we'll need a lot of that this season. And Charlie obviously trusts him because he's worked with him before. I think with Hussey coming back from injury, and it's a very specialised position. I think I saw someone on Yellow Board saying only 10% of footballers are left-footed. So to be able to find a left-footed player who is also able to play as a wide centre back, can bring the ball out, it's a very specialised position. And January is not really a buyer's market, so I'd imagine that'll be one for the summer. To be honest, I think we're fine as we are there. But yeah, if we can get cover for Croasdale, someone on loan maybe who can come in and give Croasdale a bit of a rest, because he's vital to what we do.
Would you not play Akil right there though, as defenders come back from injury? Why not?
No, Akil Wright needs to be wide centre back for me. Him and Croasdale and Madden are the 3 first names on the team sheet for me. If they're fit, they should be starting. And I don't want to. And we've kind of almost accidentally fallen into this solution of having Wright there, considering all the talk was that he was signed as backup for Croasdale, and for him to have made that position his own. I don't think of our other centre backs. I don't think Lewis is at his best on the right of a 3. I think he's best with Horse, like as an alternative to Horsfall in the centre. It's the same with Byrne as well. We've got Hussey and Johnson for the left, and then it's just Wright on the right hand side at the moment. I won't fancy any of the other centre backs there. No, we've got to keep Wright. If Akil Wright gets moved from wide centre back, I'm done. I'm done with football forever.
No, but what if it's a forced move though, because Croasdale's out for a long-term injury or something like that?
Well, that's why we should get a backup in. That's because I just the thought of moving Akil Wright from there. He's a contender for player of the season at the moment where he's playing, so I just don't fancy moving him. And he don't get me wrong, he'd be decent as a backup for Croasdale, but I just don't see us getting anyone as good as Wright in the position that he's playing at the moment.
I just think if Croasdale gets injured, I don't think we can afford to bring anybody else in. So
for the video watchers there.
I know, yeah. On the audio, I just done a Pinocchio sign. There you go. Okay, so we move on to the Crewe match then on Saturday. Away at Crewe. Anyone going?
Yeah, got me ticket.
I'm not, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm going as well.
I can't remember where I am. I don't know if I'm on the side or behind the net. I've not looked. Like we've got 2 all sides, haven't we?
Yeah, it's unfortunate that they called it the ice cream stand, the ice cream van stand. That's awkward given what's gone on.
We are going down that rabbit hole.
No, we're not going down that rabbit hole. Yeah, weather-wise, Dave Philbin reckons it could be off. I'm not sure about that. I've not checked the weather. I hope it's not, because I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I think there might be a chance, because it's always the pitch there is quite well shaded, I believe. So it might be tough for it to thaw out and all that. Or if it does go ahead, we might have another Grimsby pitch style situation. Yeah.
Ready for Croasdale to break his leg?
Oh, don't. He'll be streaming FIFA on Twitch next.
Yeah.
People are going on about like the shade and stuff. I think people this week have been talking about Crewe's side stand like it's the world's biggest IKEA or something. It's not that big, is it? Like, I don't know. Is it just me, or was it like pretty dramatic? Like, Crewe's gigantic stand, the pitch will be frozen solid. Like, it's not that big.
Yeah, Bradford have managed to get games on, haven't they?
Yeah.
Should be fine.
Did they have that last time? Did they have that last time we played them? The big stand. I can't remember. You know, when the season we went down, they had it, did they?
Yeah,
I can't remember.
Yeah. Again, just blanked it out, haven't we?
Yeah, just blanked
Horrible
it out.
times.
That was all. That was just like poisonous that day. We've had some, like I say, I was at Mac when we got beat 6-0. I was at the Grimsby 7-0. But for me, that Crewe game was just like awful. Like I've never known such a poisonous like away end. There was like arguments between our fans, and it just I know we beat them on Boxing Day, but I want to go there and stuff them on. We still owe them one. Boxing Day is not enough for me. I want to go there and put 3 or 4 past them on Saturday.
Yeah, same. I don't know if I've remembered this wrong, or I've just dreamt it or something. But I remember being on going to the train station on the way home, and there was loads of us on the platform, and there was about 2 or 3 Crewe fans because obviously they were at home, so they weren't going anywhere. There was just people who were traveling, and obviously we were as good as down. And I'm sure like they just one of them just stood there smiling at us like a little bastard. I don't know, have I remembered that right? I don't know. Did you get the train?
It did take pleasure. There was I've got a photo somewhere. They had like a few of their fans had like one of those like bed sheets that you write on. There was something about County going down at that game, so they did take a bit of pleasure in that.
Yeah.
What is it with kids at football matches, like writing on the bed sheets? If I was going out to the match and said to my mum, I was like, "Mum, can I have a bed sheet? I need to write a message for some football fans that I'm not going to see for 11 years." She's like, "No, can I grip yourself?" Weird, so weird. Get a flag made, like a real man.
Before we continue, can I just say, please do subscribe and like the video. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and if you're listening on podcast player, please do rate and review us. It helps with the algorithms and all of that good stuff. We're on 15 likes at the moment. Let's get that up because quite a lot of people watching. So just hit that like button, please. Cheers. Thank you. I did some research and listened to the Railwaymen podcast.
Oh, sorry to hear that, mate.
Today, which was good. We were invited on actually, but none of us could make it. But yeah, so I listened to them, and it was quite interesting listening to them preview our match on Saturday, because one of their panels said they weren't too bothered about us because we were bang average. They got that, they took that from the Boxing Day match, that we were bang average. They were very critical of their own players as well. They've just had a loan keeper, I think, from Arsenal go back, and he's
gone to Austria.
Right, and this loan keeper, they were comparing him to the best keepers they've ever had at Crewe. So that just gives you some indication of how good they rated him, and they don't rate the keeper that's gone in because he was their number 2. He's gonna
have a stunning game on Saturday now, isn't he?
Well, this is it, yeah. They laid into their defensive line. I couldn't believe what was here. I was like, oh my god, this is just it's got 1-0 Crewe written all over it, hasn't it? They laid into their defensive line, but then in a twist of opinion, when they came to predict the score, they all opted for draws, and one of them even said that we would go and win 2-0.
Oh, he's talking some sense, isn't he?
So
we'll win on Saturday.
Yeah, we will.
Okay, is that
100%?
Is that it? I need more than that, Des. Give me more than that.
So Des Hincks promise.
It's nailed on away win. Every lad with a betting slip, they'll all be having County on. It's a nailed on away win. Trust me.
Yeah, I'm going along with that as well. I'm very confident now.
A big daft pitch invasion in the last minute.
I'll take it now. I'll take that now.
No, I think we are clicking. I know Grimsby New Year's Day we had loads of illness and stuff, but like you look at beat Crewe Boxing Day, won at Walsall, Northampton. I think we really are clicking now, and I think two sides of the ground packed with County. It's nailed on away win for me on Saturday.
Are we just going to brush over Grimsby and Walsall in the cup then?
Yeah, defeats don't matter.
Yeah, defeats don't count. Yeah. So, anything more about the Crewe game? We must have more than that. Come on.
It'll just be nice, won't it? At the start of the season, they're the team I would have liked us to do the double against. If we had to lose all 44 games and then win 2, I'd want them both to be against them. So
I wouldn't have gone that far, Nick, but I know what you mean, though.
Yeah, they're not in great form either. I mean, home form, they've lost 2 of the last 5. Although they've won 2 of the last 5. Yeah, they're not in great form. It sounds like they've had a bit of upheaval with players. I don't think they've got much by way of investment. I think it sounds like they're stagnating. On their podcast, they were quite happy not to be circling the drain to go down.
Yeah, I think they'll be all right now. Well, from what I could see on their forum, a lot of them are a bit miffed that they've still got the academy going. just based on what they've done in the past with the academy, based on like the players they've brought through before, when they've not brought a player through in years. And obviously, as we know from when we dropped into non-league, that was the first thing to go.
Yeah.
Because it's so expensive to maintain. So the fact that they're still persevering with it, with a the fact they've not brought anyone through in years, and B, the connotations and stuff. The fact they're still going, a lot of them are just staggered by it that they're still pumping. I mean, if they didn't have the academy, you'd think the money they'd save from that, they'd have a pretty competitive side at this level. But obviously not bothering. It's obviously still persevering with it, and eventually they'll get away with it a few seasons where there'll be 2 absolutely awful teams that will go down, but they'll get caught out eventually and get relegated if they carry on like that.
Yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it? Well, so just run that one by me again. They're unhappy that they have an academy.
They're still funding the academy when they've not got a rich benefactor or anything like that, and it's been years since a decent player came through the academy. It's not like the 90s where they were selling players for £1 million every season.
Yeah.
Got them up to like League One, the champion. But were they in the Championship at one point? Or did I imagine that?
No, they came up with us. They went through the playoffs. It was Bury.
They went through the playoffs that season. That's right. Yeah, they did. Yeah, I thought they'd been in the Championship with us. So yeah, it's not like it was then. They're not selling players for £1 million. So
no,
I think Nick Powell was the last one to come through there, and that was about 10, 12 years ago.
Yeah. No, you're probably right. Yeah, it's interesting because on listening to their podcast, they were saying that their bench was nothing but academy players, which says a lot, really, because if they're not producing good academy players and the bench is full of them, that the squad must be thin, must be really, really thin, and not got the depth. So hopefully, I think my feeling is if the pitch is in half decent state and the game goes ahead, and we don't have any issues in terms of individual errors or anything like that, we should really be running out comfortable winners, shouldn't we?
I think we could get 3 or 4 there on Saturday. And I'm not always that confident before every game. I think we'll batter them on Saturday.
I hope you're right, mate. I really hope you're right. Yeah. Pick up your tickets, by the way. I know the ticket office was open till 6:30 tonight, wasn't it? But I think it's back open again on Friday. Don't do what I did for Salford away and forget, and then have to go and stand outside a ticket office that isn't open, trying to look for your tickets.
And you don't want to be stood around. You don't want to be stood around Crewe on your own.
Are we going down that road again?
The amount of times we've covered this rabbit hole up and then just gone and dug it up again.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, Des, let's move on to you to coin a phrase. Tell us a bit about your scarf my father wore. Do you know what I have to say now? I have to think about saying scarf my father wore because of this bloody podcast.
When we're singing it at the game, I always have to trip myself up. I always sing the scarf Bagara. Yeah, stupid name for a podcast. I still regret us calling it.
No, it's a good name for a podcast. I like it.
I still think we should have been called "I've Waited All My Life" for that, but that's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Under the Flight Path was another one I thought we thought of, but yeah, whatever.
No, I've always written about. Well, I actually started at County, so I worked there when I was 17, 18 with my dad. So I was doing the program and the website. So I was writing about County every day, and it's just always stuck with me, whether doing fanzines or blogs and everything. But yeah, the website's nice because it's with fanzines and stuff. You do it on a month. Nowadays a month is like a year in terms of content. Whereas with this, you can do, I do match previews with you guys, match reports the day after, so you can put stuff on every day. It's a good little platform to do it on. So
I've noticed you putting stuff out every day now. I mean, just give everybody a sort of an appreciation of how much time that takes up. Because I've been the editor of Hatters Matters before when I was in my early 20s, and it consumed my life almost.
Yeah. Well, sort of. I'm always traveling about there, so on trains or so. The good thing these days, phone and laptop, you can do it from anywhere. But yeah, it takes a bit of time. But it's good. We've got some good writers. We've got we're doing the match previews of you and JK and everyone, and then we've got Geordie Hatter doing bits and bobs. So it helps me out if I get a few contributors. Like I say, I don't do it every single day, but if I've got content, I will. But yeah, I'll try and do a couple of bits myself every week, and if you get a couple of contributors as well, you can put sort of four or five pieces a week out. But it's nice because with any club, there's loads of content when you're doing well. It's I wouldn't be writing every day about Colwyn Bay away and Rushall Olympic at home, but you see, it's nice to be doing stuff like this again back in the league, and it's even now it still doesn't completely sink in sometimes, having spent such a long time. 11 years is just unbelievable amount of time that we were in non-league for. But yeah, now we're back. It's just everything's positive. We've got good chairman, fan base is going up. It's just all Christmas dinner in a cup. What more do you want?
I know. Which I never got to taste Christmas dinner in a cup. Did any of you guys? Did any of you lads get to taste it?
Did they still? Because the game was called off, wasn't it? And then
they did it on Boxing Day.
Boxing Day. Yeah. But the queue was horrific. It's good. Yeah. I mean, it's good that it's like that, and apparently it goes down pretty fast. But I thought, I'm not queuing up in that. But
I've been into the courtyard, but I've not had any food or drink. I've just literally bobbed in for a chat, but I've not had any food or drink there. But it looks pretty good from what I've seen.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah.
Well, I did go for a pint after the game on Saturday. I just sat down with a pint and they started bringing all the shutters down and stuff. I was like, whoa.
Really?
Get rid of me. I suppose it's not it was very cold. It's not the weather for it to be staying open, and there was only a handful of people there after the game. Really, would have been. I'd imagine in the summer when we get to August bank holiday and stuff and pre-season friendlies, it'll be absolutely heaving out there even after the game. But yeah, it's not. But by the sounds of it, nice and busy before the game. Anyway, I went at half time, had a couple of pints, and yeah, absolutely got served very quickly. It's nice being able to not miss any of the first half and go and get, particularly now we're winning most of the time. You don't have to miss a load of the first half to get a pint and something to eat.
Yeah,
that's been my favourite thing about this season. I think not having to miss half the game to have a pint and a piss. It's great. I've still not tried the Portaloos out though yet, so stay tuned for a report on them.
Yeah, apparently they're okay though. But for now, I mean they're new, aren't they? So
yeah. Wait till someone carves a glory hole into them and all that.
I'm astounded you had 2 pints at half time. I struggled to get one down my neck at half time.
I was on the sesh on Saturday.
Or was you on the sesh, were you?
Yeah. And then because I didn't get to the ground until 10 to 3, I had an extra couple of pints to make up.
Right.
So
fair dues.
It's a tough old life for us.
It is. Just as a bit of a side discussion, Ian Dowden, Stott's been here 3 years now. Do you remember the episode we did when he took over?
I remember Rick Riley turning up and not having a clue what was going on. Yeah. That was my highlight. Yeah, and I think I went back and listened to it before Christmas because I was very bored, and pretty much everything we said we wanted from a new owner we've got so far, plus more. So
yeah. If it was Football Manager now and we were rating the owner, what would you give him in terms of F to A+?
Oh, I was hoping we were going for numbers. From F to A+, I'd give him an 8 out of 10. Probably a 9, actually. Probably a 9. And then it'll go to a 10 once we start seeing the new stands going up.
Oh, okay. Des, what about you?
Yeah, that's similar. Like say everything you worry about any property developer coming in, and regardless of what they say, that's always at the back of your mind. But obviously, having seen the plans now, I think those fears have gone. And yeah, it's just been, it was just needed. I think there was so much potential and so many people helped, long list to mention over the years, and got us into that position where we were, in a position for somebody to come in but we needed that point. And I'm a bit of a traditional football fan. I like, football's not about money for me, but I think when you're stuck in the National League, you do need investment and I think there's nothing wrong with spending a bit of money. I think we're not a Fleetwood or a one of those teams. I think we are a football league club, and it needed that investment to get us back in. I think we've done it the right way as well. There's, Stock gives money to, local charities and stuff. We're not a Saudi Arabian backed thing or anything. We've done, for a team that's got a bit of money, we've done it with a bit of class, which is nice. And we're building for the future, and the fan base is going up the stadium and everything. So it's all positive times.
Especially when the fan base we've got now, particularly people of say my age and a bit younger, it's that fan base has been built on the community stuff that's been done over the past 30 years or so. So for us to be continuing that was, I think that was one of our musts, wasn't it, Russ? That was one of the things that we said we wanted, and not only has he continued it, he's kind of taking it up a new level with that, like you said, the charity donations and everything. Yeah, more of that's great, absolutely great. Can't grumble.
Yeah, the social stuff's vitally important, isn't it? And I noticed they pushed out the video that was done earlier in mid 2022, I think, on the social stuff. Not only that as well. I mean, if you look at the academy is not just for the elite players. It's the education side for the players that want to learn the game and learn, do their course on the side of that. And I've noticed they're doing that for the ladies as well. So it's just growing and seeping out with every decision that's made. That's why doing this podcast is so good, and it sort of writes itself, because we get content every week that we could talk about, don't we? We don't have to scratch around looking for content. Like you, Des, content comes your way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
When you've got a club on the rise, probably more difficult. It's probably you're probably less enthusiastic about it when we're on the downward spiral. What's next for you then in your blog? Because is it just a blog that you do, or you do a bit of stand up? Do you do other bits and bats?
Yeah, so I've started doing like the open mic nights and stuff. I was trying to think of something funny to say then, but nothing came to mind. So it's like
that's the worst thing, though, isn't it? When you tell people you do stand up and they're like, "Oh, tell us a joke." It's like, but I don't do jokes. I do long, rambling anecdotes that don't go anywhere.
There's a couple of other county fans. I think that there's a couple of others that are doing like the open mic nights and stuff as well. So like, you never know. You never know. I'll come back on when I'm on live at the Apollo.
Please do.
No, it's good fun though. Like it's just a mad little world, but it's unbelievable fun.
Cool. So if we ever did another live show, would you be up for warming the crowd up for us with a bit of a set before?
I've seen your sort of crowd. I don't know if I'd want to be warming. I'll come and warm them up.
I love it. Happy Hatter says B+, treatment of Jim still hurts a bit. Fair comment, whatever side of the coin you're on. I agree with you guys. I mean, it's probably, like you say, an 8 out of 10, which I think equates in the new rules to about, is that an A minus? Have you seen the new GCSEs? The ratings?
I don't want to put a minus in there because minus has like negative connotations, doesn't it? Just having a minus in there. So let's go A.
Okay.
Yeah. This again is like 8 or 9 out of 10 in it. So
yeah. Good stuff. Right. Shall we think about wrapping it up? Have we got anything to close the show with? Any admin or anything you want to talk about?
Are we not going to just pay a little respect to the dead rat on the pop side?
Well, yeah, was that was Hannah? Did Hannah take that photo?
Hannah,
yeah.
What was that all
the nature reserve's going well, isn't it?
But it did look. It looked like the size of a cat. So I don't like. Maybe it had all those Christmas dinner cups that didn't get eaten. Over
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
It was huge though. It was like
Massive.
but,
Talking of rat shit, why has our new right wing back got the number 3 shirt? Very upset.
Oh yeah, let's finish on that.
Really, really annoyed me. In fact, we're going to start a new feature next week, Russ, where you're going to bring in like a list of just random players from all around the world of football and their squad number, and I'm going to critique. I think that could be a new little feature. That'll
never
run
have a 3 at right back.
No, it's appalling, isn't it? Just as soon as he came on, I was just like, I'd got over it after seeing it in the initial announcement and stuff that he's wearing number 3. I was like, right, I've got a couple of days to get over it. And then as soon as he came on, I was like, just felt like when you stroke a dog backwards, like just horrible. Now,
Yeah. Well, South of Wales has got number 2, has he?
yeah, but it's not like the National League where you have to give the first number that's available. Because remember when we signed Danny Rowe on loan under Jim in the National League, and he got number 6, which wasn't nice. I think centre forward wearing number 6. It's just this is the stuff that matters, though.
Yeah, it is absolutely. But I get the feeling that he chose that number because it's the one closest to the goalkeeper that was available. Because obviously Kitchen vacated that number and there wasn't a 2. I think what's more annoying is when you have 1 to 11. I think we're in the National League North days or National League North days or National League as well. No, National League North. And was it Cowan who had 3 at right back?
No, so Dan Cowan, when we got promoted back to the National League, he was even though he was traditionally a right back, that first season back in the National League, he was our first choice left back.
Right-footed? His first right-footed left back.
He was a right-footed left back. Yeah.
Right.
So
Okay.
him having number 3 then, even though we've been used to seeing him wearing number 2 in the National League North, that's just about acceptable because he was the first choice left back. Yeah.
Right. I'm glad you've cleared.
A lot of people have replied to me saying that. You have no idea how many people have been saying, "But what about Dan Cowan?" It's like, no, it's not the same.
No, it's good knowledge. It's good knowledge. I think the one that annoyed me most, and it's non-county related, was Zinedine Zidane having 5 at Real Madrid. It was 5, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's not good, is it?
I think we should have like 88 and 94. Let's go all soccer ball on it and
soccer ball.
Oh god. Well, when we had Dave Challoner on, like just not long after the Halifax game last year, one of Russ's big searching questions that he asked him was, "What would you do if a player came to you asking for number 69?" So that this is the type of top-notch journalism you get on this show.
Yeah, that was filmed in front of a live studio audience as well, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. yeah. They loved it. Both of them.
They did. Right, good stuff. Let's wrap it up there. Des, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Pleasure. No problem. It's been an absolute pleasure chatting away about County. What's a better thing to do on a Wednesday evening than chat away about County? Probably watching Macaulay South of Wales play FIFA, I would have thought. So yeah, we'll be back next week, won't we, Nick?
We will indeed. Yes, we will. We will that.
We will. And let's hope for 3 points on Saturday. And we'll have the Crewe game to talk about. We'll have the Bradford game as well on Tuesday to talk about. And then we will look ahead to AFC Wimbledon away, which is the following Saturday.
AFC tennis away.
Yes. Looking forward to my hop, skip and jump across London for that.
Wicked, aren't you?
Yes, as we keep on saying, everybody knows I'm going to see it. Right, let's close the show. Cheers, everybody. Speak to you next week. Bye.